Hi everyone and welcome to Shaolin Worldwide. This is Shifu Shi Yanning and today he'll guide you through a quick 10-minute Shaolin flexibility and basics routine. Let's begin. So we're going to start off with our wrist rotations. We want to make sure all of our joints and ligaments are warmed up before training. And now let's move on to our ankle rotations. We want to make sure we get a good stretch in all directions. And switch foot to the right. And switch to the left. And complete. Now we're going to move on to our knee rotation. 膝关节. So we're rotating to the right side. And let's switch direction. Make sure you use your hands as cups to protect your knees. And complete. Now let's move on to our hip rotations. Let's change direction. Now let's stretch our shoulders. Make sure you get a deep stretch here. Use the other hand to support yourself. And change direction. Moving on to the next exercise, we're going to stretch upwards. Let's make sure we look up while we do this. We're going to stretch our upper back, our neck and shoulders. And let's stretch downwards. You want to make sure your legs are straight and try to touch the ground. Let's move on to the next exercise. We're going to do a side leg stretch. Try your best to keep both legs straight. Both hands should touch your right foot. And let's change to the left. And complete. Now we're moving on to our front leg stretch. Make sure you get a good stretch on your hamstrings. And let's switch leg. Over time the goal is to get your head to touch your toe. So get a deep stretch in. And complete. Now we're going to move on to the bow stance leg stretch. Stick your right leg out into a 90-degree angle. This is a great exercise to open up your hip flexors, and let's switch leg. Okay, and complete. Let's move on to our Pubu stretch. And let's switch sides. And complete. Let's move on to our next exercise, the front kick. So prepare. And look forward. Step and kick. Small step forward and kick. Small step forward and kick. Small step forward and kick. Let's move on to the outside crescent kick. So prepare. Look forward. Small step forward and kick. 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 Good. Complete. Now let's move on to our straight raise kick. Prepare, look forward, small step forward and kick. Small step forward and kick. Small step forward and kick. One more time. Small step forward and kick. Good. Now let's move on to the side kick. So prepare. Step forward and kick. Step forward and kick. Pay attention to the hand placement. The hand on the above is blocking from a block. The other hand comes under the armpit. Let's move on to the next exercise. So front snap kick and straight punch. So prepare. Now kick and punch at the same time. Punching kick. Make sure it's a snap kick. And balance. Good. Complete. Let's move on to the next exercise. This will be a kick and a push palm. So prepare. Push and kick. Push and kick. You want to make sure you do this at the same time. Push and kick. Good, and complete. And what Shifu is saying here, you can take one of these exercises and just practice over and over again. Let's move on to our next exercise. Horse stance into a bow stance transition. Horse stance into bow stance. And complete. We're going to go from a horse stance into a bow stance, and we're going to add in a straight punch. Horse stance and punch gōng bu. Watch how Shifu alternates his punches here. Horse stance, gōng bu, punch. Good, and complete. The next exercise, we're going to do a horse stance block, transition into a bow stance punch. So block and punch into gōng bu. Block, punch. Go into horse stance and then into gōng bu. Block and punch. Good, complete. So now we're going to do a cross punch. So Mabu, 2 fists are blocking, opening up and punching. Good, and complete. The next exercise we're going to do is horse block into bow stance power punch. So block, punch with the right, and left you'll block on top. Same thing here, Mabu into gōng bu. So punch and block with the left on top. Feel free to repeat these exercises on the other side. Good, and complete. So the next exercise, we're going to get into horse stance, and we're going to do straight punches forward. Try and sit low, 90 degrees, and punch straight forward. Make sure you use your hips. Bring the power from the floor all the way to your punches. And complete. Now let's move on to the next exercise, 5 dragon circular striking drill. Or in Chinese, 乌龙 panda. So starting gōng bu, right palm facing up, facing the sky. Swing your right arm down and up, twist your body into our second position. Now our left arm comes forward and down into pubu. Let's see it again. And one more time. Now one more time, but quicker. Good, and complete. Moving on to our next exercise, we're going to do our front sweep. Step out and sweep. And again. Good, and complete. And let's move on to our next exercise, the back sweep. 1, 2, 3. And twist back, hands on the floor and sweep. Land in a mabu. Push and gōng bu.
1、2、3，尾身，后扫把步，变弓步，1、2、3，尾身，后扫把步，变弓步，1、2、3，尾身，后扫把步，变弓步。
And complete. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to Shaolin Worldwide and comment what you want to see next. 阿弥陀佛。